Hey guys, it's Alicia here, and this is a very important video to watch if you're going to watch any of my videos because I'm always going to refer back to this, and that is this frequency scale that our bodies are operating at. I'm always going to go back to this because that's how I'm able to relate to what's really happening in our bodies. And this is kind of what helped me overcome depression, which I had for 4 years. I still am a very analytical person. I'm an engineer, but I wasn't open to energy healing for a really long time because I didn't understand the science behind it. But now I do, and that's why I relate a lot of things to this. So if you already believe in energy healing and the law of attraction and all of that, then you probably don't need to watch this, but I still will always be referring back to this frequency scale. So if you're going to watch my videos, then definitely pay attention to this. So everything is made of energy, and we all have a frequency that we're giving off, humans and objects, and the human energy field is actually even measurable. I don't know the exact distance. I want to say it's like 6 to 8 or 6 to 10 feet or meters. I'm not exactly sure. There's devices that can measure this electromagnetic field. One of them is called a SQUID. I think it stands for Superconducting Quantum Interference Device. So this is actually measurable, and it's really great to think of it as like we're giving off kind of like a frequency, like a radio channel. And actually our heart gives off or generates the largest energy field in our body. But I'm going to talk about the heart in a different video because the heart deserves its own video. There's so much to say. So I like to look at everything on this frequency scale. So the lowest frequency would be like hopelessness. If you're going through depression, like I was for a really long time, that's like the bottom of the frequency scale. And then the top of the frequency scale would be like joy and abundance and peace. And of course, there's lots in between, like anger, frustration, relaxation, like so many different things on the scale. But the two extremes are really like hopelessness, depression, how you would normally feel if you were depressed, to feeling pure joy and abundance, which is actually your natural state, as much as that might be hard to believe. So you can actually change a radio channel, and that's the same for our frequency. Again, easier said than done, but if you're at a lower frequency, you can just change the channel to a higher frequency. It's really all up to you. You are creating this frequency that you're giving off in your energy field. So again, it's easier said than done, but if you can allow yourself to feel even 2% higher of a frequency that you're currently at, then that is just going to attract more things to you at that higher frequency. That's going to be the frequency you're giving off, and all things around you are going to mirror that. And then eventually you'll probably move higher and higher on the frequency scale. But if you can just start with that 2%, it can make a huge difference. And that is like a key tool that you might hear me talk about in some other videos when I talk about how I overcame depression. This was one of them, because when I was at like that really low frequency of hopelessness, I just tried to allow myself to feel 2% higher on that frequency scale, like anything higher. And then eventually that 2% kept growing and growing, and then I slowly didn't have depression anymore. But at first it was really hard for me to just go from one channel to, the joy and frequency channel. So I tried to start by just allowing myself to feel 2% more at peace, 2% more relaxation, and actually, something that can help you move up on that scale really quickly and really easily is if you don't look at your pain or your anger or whatever you're feeling from a state of judgment or resistance, like I don't want to feel this. If you look at it from a state of curiosity, if you just kind of tune into your body and you're like, oh, what am I feeling? Or why am I feeling this? That already shifted your frequency a little bit higher than the hopeless frequency that you were at before, or the anger frequency you were at before. If you take a second to just kind of feel into like, oh yeah, I'm feeling sad right now, or I'm feeling angry right now. You've already shifted your frequency right there by looking at your emotions from curiosity rather than judgment and resistance. So that's why you'll always hear me referring back to this frequency scale on tips that you can do to just kind of move up that frequency scale. Even if it's just a little bit, it can make a huge impact on your life, because that will be the frequency you're living at and will be mirrored in your 3D world. So I hope that makes sense. I'm a really analytical person, so I really needed to understand the science behind the electromagnetics and what's really going on in and around our bodies for me to be open to this type of healing. And I'm so glad I did, because I may still have depression if I didn't open to this and didn't kind of transition from more, still analytical, but now I am more open to this kind of healing and starting to be more spiritual because I understand the science behind it. So if you're anything like me and you haven't been open to this kind of stuff in the past, I hope this will kind of help you make that transition, knowing this is not just some like airy-fairy thing that me and so many other people believe in. It's really what's happening in and around our bodies. Okay, so that's it for today, and I'll see you guys in the next video.